We've been using our VEX self-driving vehicles to move around and control different paths, and now we're going to use something new on the vehicle, and it's on the front of the vehicle here. It's called the VEX Vision Unit, and this VEX Vision Unit has a camera lens. It's got a little light to indicate when it's sensing colors, and it just easily comes off of the vehicle just by gently pulling away. It's just connected with some plastic pins. And then on the bottom of the unit, there is the connector for the VEX brain, and then next to that, a little USB port. So that's how we're going to connect it to the computer. And I'll show you now how we're going to have it sense colors. There are two different ways that we can have the VEX Vision Unit store colors. One is a color signature, and a color signature is a single color. And anytime it senses an object of that single color, it will return true for that color signature being in the VEX Vision view. Single color, color signature. If we want two or more colors to be a combination, and only when it senses that combination of colors to return true for an object, we can use a color code signature. And this code is what allows us to combine two or more colors. And if we were to store 4, there'd be 240 unique combinations. A little mathing in the background if you're interested in checking that out. But we can use these two ways to sense either single colors or combinations of colors to return true and trigger some event to occur based on that recognition. And the way that we store these colors is to use the VEX Vision utility. It's on your Start menu on your computer. And VEX Vision opens up blank, and only when I connect my USB cord to my VEX Vision unit, which I'm doing right now, does it then start streaming video from that. And I'm going to store a couple of color codes. Now, a good practice is, unless you've saved colors from before you know they're yours, is to just go ahead and clear all of these signatures and click yes to that. And now we're starting from scratch. And what I'm going to do is I've got a piece of paper with some bright colors on it. And I'm going to store the color red for signature 1. And the way I do that is I click and hold and drag across the color and click that color as saved. And now, whenever it sees red, and sometimes you have to play around with this a little bit. I'm going to clear that. It didn't take very well. When it sees red, hopefully, it likes to say that was blue. So why don't we use blue since it seems to like that? And then you're just going to have to play around with different colors and lightings. So let's save blue as signature 1, and you will see that right here, it tells me I'm seeing signature 1 right now. We'll zoom in a little bit more. Hopefully get that text to show up a little bit better. It's hard to see, but it's telling me I'm seeing signature 1. I'm going to add yellow to be signature 2 now, so I'll click and drag across yellow, click save for that, and now signature 2 has been assigned to yellow, signature 1 is still blue, and last but not least, let's put green in, click and drag across and make that signature 3. So now I have 3 colors. Didn't like signature 3 very much. No. Something about the lighting is my guess, but I do have 2 signatures. I've got signature 1 is blue, signature 2 is yellow. And that's enough to at least show you some uses of that back in VEX Coding Studio. So now that I have my colors saved, I'm done with VEX Vision. And I'll go over to VEX Coding Studio now. I'm going to create a quick program to use those color signatures. So this is just the starter that comes up. I'm going to use a when started event, and I'm going to want to have the camera continuously take pictures. So I'm going to bring something out called a forever loop, and forever loop means what it says. Forever, do all the commands that are located inside of this. Another way to use a forever loop, and this is helpful for in Python when we don't have something called forever, we can use a while loop. For as long as this Boolean conditional is true, do the commands in this block here. If we leave the word true in here, because true always returns a value of true as a Boolean conditional, that would mean that this becomes a forever loop as well. So this is just another trick to create a forever loop. But since they've given us a structure in VEX Coding Studio, I'm going to use it. And forever, what I want it to do is constantly clear the screen, because we're going to have the screen report whenever it sees a color. And the next thing I want to do is I'm just going to have it check one color. So we come down to the vision module, and we're going to have it take a snapshot. And whatever we have the vision module, that's the object, and take snapshot is the method or the function it's doing. Whenever we have this happen, whatever argument we put in here is the signature that it's going to look for. We can put a signature or a color code signature with a combination of individual signatures. Well, right now I want it to say if it sees any object with signature 1's color, we're going to do something with it. So we have it take a picture, store all the information about signature 1. I want it to make a decision and say if, and in my Boolean, I want to say if the vision largest object exists. So the object vision, there is some object with signature 1 existing. If it's true, it's meaning that it found an object with signature 1, it's going to do this part of the if block. Otherwise, it'll do this. Now I've got some misalignment with my blocks, so I'll come over to text world, come back over to blocks, and that fixes that up. So if it does see an object with signature 1 immediately after taking a snapshot looking for signature 1, I want it to, on the brain, print signature 1 found. Otherwise, if it doesn't see that, signature, I want it to return on the brain screen a message of nothing found. Now, one of the other tricks I've found is that putting in more clear screen messages just to keep it so that it's updating constantly tends to help. So I'm just going to throw some clear screens in there. So the way this works now is forever clear the screen and take a snapshot with the vision module looking for signature 1. If there is an object with signature 1, do this. Otherwise, do this. And this should return the expected results. Sees an object with signature 1, displays this. Otherwise, displays this. The other thing we can do is we can also have it look for a second signature and return 2 values. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to map that all out because you're going to have to write a program to do that. If I come down here and create a second snapshot, because this loop is continuously happening, and as soon as the if is evaluated, it goes to the next command. This next command now says, instead of signature 1, we'll go over to text world and change this to signature 2. It'll immediately, after taking signature 1 snapshot, looking for that, and evaluating this, then take a snapshot looking for signature 2. So it's constantly storing. So if my program immediately after taking signature 1 can evaluate for that existing, I wonder how that would work with signature 2, and I'll leave the rest of that to you. So that's a quick introduction. If I want to have color codes, the activity shows me that I can create a color code as a variable using, just look at this here, the type of the variable is going to be a vision code variable. Variable name will be whatever you want to name it. Then we create a vision code using this. It's called a constructor method. It's just a function available to us. So it's saying create a vision code variable, named this, using the vision code function, and then these 2 signatures. So if I were to put this, let's just copy this, right click and copy, and then we'll paste it over into VEX Coding Studio's variable space. This now makes a vision code signature using signature 1 and 2. And because it's called my code, if I go over into text world and I change this from signature 2 to my code, now every time it sees signature 1 and 2 together, it will return true for this object being in existence. So that's another trick that you can use to now not just sense individual signatures, but color code signatures as well. So that's your quick introduction. Go through activity 222, and good luck.